Welcome back to a new video. In this video, we're going to be solving another machine from Cyberseclabs. The machine is Fuel, and if you click on the machine, you're going to see more information about that. So basically, the IP address is noted, and on the right, we have Fuel, the name of the machine. As you can see, we don't have a walkthrough, but we do have a couple of solvers, like we have system solvers, access solvers 24, deployments 45. Okay. So if you head back to our Kali box, and in here we can see, guys, I have scanned the machine, and I have, you see, guys, we have the results. You can see we have SSH on port 22, and we have HTTP on port 80, and the machine is reconnecting back. I hope it's not gonna wreck our work. Let me try ping the machine, make sure everything is right. Oh, thanks, God. Because sometimes I experience disconnections from this, not only Cyberseclabs, all of the online labs. Sometimes the VPN disconnects for some reason. We don't want to know now. All right, so as you can see, guys, we have here two ports. So for this machine, the thing about this machine, we're going to be, as we did in a video before, we're going to do manual exploitation. So we're going to bring on an exploit for the CMS, whose name is Fuel, and we're going to be able to modify the exploit to suit our purposes. And after that, we will launch the exploit against the machine and gain access. That's the purpose of this video. Of course, we're going to solve the lab till the end, till we get privilege escalation. But the main purpose of the guys, if you want to stay, if you want to leave, it's to modify manually the exploits, which is something you need to know and be familiar with while doing OSCP. Okay, so let's launch the browser. And here I type the IP address, 172. Let me see the IP again. So we copy that. Okay. As you can see, guys, we have the main landing page of the content management system, and we have the instructions on installing the CMS if we would like to do that. Okay, so we can see, guys, this is very clear and crystal clear that we're giving you the version, right? So one of the things when we do penetration testing and security analysis testing, we need to see, or we are looking to find out the version number of the applications installed. So the version number is handed and given on a silver plate. So basically, we're gonna grab that, and we can use the browser to find the exploit, or we can use search exploit from the command line. For proximity reasons, we're gonna use the browser. We're going to type Fuel CMS 1.4 exploit. All right, so a quick skimming on the results. We can see we have two kinds of exploits, level exploits. We have the first one, remote code execution, and the second one is SQL injection. So, and again, for the purpose, or for the, for proxy reasons, we're going to take the first exploit and take out the exploit. Let's download the exploit. Okay, we go back to client, and from here I'm gonna clear the screen. I don't need the result anymore. I'm gonna hit to download. All right, so I have the exit. I'm gonna now open it. Okay, so one of the things about working with exploits, we need first to understand what does the exploit do. We know it's doing remote code execution, right? But first, we need to interpret and understand the lines written. In order for us, if there is something we need to modify, we can go ahead and modify it. Okay, so first, we have the request URL lib URL. that's the first thing we're gonna modify here. So what brought me here? I don't know. Let me minimize that. All right. So the first thing here, guys, you're gonna need to modify the URL and a couple of stuff in the exploit. So basically, guys, here the URL, it's not gonna be 127.0.0.881. This exploit was written to work with a proxy server. So we're not gonna use a proxy server. We're gonna modify the IP to be the IP address of the box. So here we go. Take the IP and paste it. That's it. Now we have a function here to perform the exploitation. We're not going to modify it. We're going to go down, scroll down, and we see here, guys, we have some variable called 4x and raw input. And it seems to me that this is written in Python 2. So we're going to modify that to be on Python 3. So instead of raw input, this is in Python 2, we're going to type input only to be in compliance with Python 3. We're going to leave CMD as it is. We go down. We can see here we have perp0 URL, which is, as I told you guys, this is written to work with the server. That's why the variable name perp0 URL. So here we're going to leave the variable as it is. You can go ahead and modify the variable, but if you modify the variable here, you're gonna need to modify all other occurrences of the same variable. So here and all the way down. I'm gonna leave the variable name as it is, and let's examine the proof of concept URL. So here, instead of that, we're gonna put, let's go find something else on the right. Do we have something else? Oh, okay. So we have here the URL library code. This is in Python 2. In Python 3, we need to add only parse. Okay, this is to confirm to with Python 3. If you have only Python 2, you only have to modify the URL, right? But if you want to use Python 3, you need to follow what we are doing right now. Okay, let's go down. Proxy, and this is the proxy variable, right? It contains the proxy address. Since we are not using a proxy, we're gonna remove that part. Okay. Now the second line, request.getPerp proxies equal proxy. I'm not sure if we're gonna need that, since actually no, we're gonna need this, but we remove the proxy part. So here, all right, and we're gonna leave the variable name as it is. It's good if we modify the variable name here for made this descriptive, right? So we make it like exploit inject, and here we're gonna modify that to exploit inject. Okay, let's go down and see if we got something else to modify. And that's it. Okay, and at the end we have print r.text. In Python 3, this needs to be enclosed with parentheses. And we are good to go. Let's now launch the exploit. And let me make sure the IP is reachable, since, as you see, it's restarted itself several times. We're going to make sure we have live connection. Paste. Exactly. Okay. List. Let's give the script sudo permissions. Sorry, execution permissions. Plus X and name. Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna run the tool Python 3 for and run it. So I have a problem here in line 42. Exploit inject cannot assign to operator. Oh, let's nano. So over here we have, let's see what we got here. So it seems, guys, that we have URL, fuel pages, select, I have the payload. All right, then URL parse. Okay. Um, so this is xxx, right? Let's modify the next variable. I don't like it. And we put something like exploit. And let's go to the right, all the way to the right, modify the name of the variable. So at exploit. And we have exploit inject. Okay. Let's try to run. Command operator. Why? Let's go back. The URL is defined as our URL, and here we modify the input. Okay, CMD. So there is an assignment problem. If we go back to the exploit itself, let me go to the browser and all right. Okay, let's remove that part. And paste it again. Okay. Right now. I think it's a problem with the name, right? I selected, probably. So this one, let's make it underscore. And here everything else is good. What was that? Okay, so here exploit. Run. Okay, so as we can see here, we got the command execution has been done. So right now let's try ID. Inject is not defined. Let's go back. Exploit inject. You mean this one? Yeah. As you can see, we forgot to modify the. What I'm doing here? Okay. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Run. Let's run. And let's clean first. Clean all the mess we have done. Run. ID. What was this? What was that? Oh, okay. So we got some HTML response and we got the ID, right? That is fine. So the command shell has executed, as you can see, and we got limited shell. Who am I? Now all we have to do here, we need to upgrade that connection to a more sophisticated one, to a more comfortable thing. So if we can type pwt display the current working directory, and stuck. All right, okay, enough of that. Let's clear and run again. ID. I'm afraid that the connection has been reset with the machine. Just tell me this. I don't want to hear that. And the machine is not responding. That's why I hate online labs. I hate online labs. Just like I hate, I don't know. So let me reset the connection on the left. Clear. That is one of the reasons why I like Vulnerable Hub. I mean, you can install the lab, customize it, build it on your own, have everything set in the right place, and then experience with your own. I mean, the online labs just, I don't know what to say. Okay, let's now rerun the exploit, wasting our time. ID, okay, pwd, let's find if we get current working directory. Go down. So yes, that is the current working directory. Now, let's take reverse shell. So pen test monkey reverse shell. Oh, yeah, I am sure. I wanna take the risk. Okay, let's go down, grab some reverse shell, and the safest, the netcat one. Let's take that, and let's go back. Okay, here. All right. So here, I'm gonna create a new terminal on the right and do some netcat rl wrap nc-nlvp 4545. Paste the reverse. No, come on. Okay, let me modify this on my machine. Yeah, okay. So, what do we need to do here? Let's make a new one. Oh no, collapse this. Horizontal sudo nano 1. And let's paste the reverse shell. And here we modify the port 4545. Then 10.0.24. I hope this is the same IP, and I hope it doesn't change. Okay, now let's copy that. Oh, what's happening? So 45 10.0.24. Copy. We go back to the terminal and we collapse this. And here we paste, enter. Oh! I should have run the listener before I hit enter. Paste. Let's check. And there's no connection back. Run again. So here we have the IP. I don't know what's wrong with that. And the machine is restarting. Thank you for your convenience, Cyberseclabs. I hate this. Okay. Okay. Alright, and we received the shell back. Alright, so we have here the shell or the reverse shell back to our machine. Now the next step is privilege escalation, right? ID, ID. Alright, so we are Moira. Okay. Alright, so for this challenge, we have many stuff to do for privilege escalation, right? We can view the binaries that have the suit bit set. We can find the improperly configured directories with weak file permissions. We got many stuff to enumerate, right? But based on I have solved that before, and for this challenge, the privilege escalation vector in this challenge is we need to see the history of the comments that have been written in the command line by this guy, right? So viewing the history of the commands is very crucial to find the system administrators have typed some confidential information like passwords in plain text in the command line. If they have done that and they didn't clear the bash history, your chances of getting some credentials from somewhere or elevating your privilege are going to be higher. So here we're gonna need to find, we're gonna need to see the history of the commands. So one way to do that is finding the bash history. So the bash history file. So we see here bash locate bash history. Oh, so I've typed something wrong here. It should be like this. And the shell stuck. Let's take that again. And the machine is restarting. You see, I cannot ping the machine. That's why my connection is not working. All right. So we're gonna go to home. No, not here. Okay. CD home. So CD Moira. Okay, so we got this file. We have to find or to see the content of this file in order to find the history of comments, right? And as you can see here, we have read permission on this file, right? So the problem here is not the permissions. As a user on the system, you need to have permissions over this file, over the bash history. But the problem is, as you're about to see here, is the confidential information being treated carelessly, right? So let's find out what does this file have. Oh, cat bash history. All right, we go up, we examine. So the system administrator here, what do? They SSH to the SSH server, they type to L and here VM and then SSH pass, and that is the problem. The problem is the system ad or Moa was trying to log in to SSH server while typing the password in clear text using SSH pass. So SSH pass passes the password directly, right? But you have to type it in clear text. That is the problem. So we're gonna take that, go down, and try this password on root user. Su root. What do you mean? What do you mean? And disconnect. So it seems to me that we need to Su is not working. Um, let's replace that with import the ptyshell. So Python import. See if we can import. Let me put the password here, not to lose it. Okay, let's copy that. Go back. Oh gosh, no found. No. Oh my god. Okay. No, we don't need that. We need to. All right, let's go back. Oh, the connection. So here, ID, ID. So it seems that we need to get interactive shell bin dash dash I. All right. So show root now. Yep. Give me the prompt. Let's start this back. Let's copy the password. Go back. So here we are waiting for the password prompt. Verify my connection working, and the connection has been lost. Oh my god. Okay, bin dash dash I so root. Oh, you're kidding me. So root is not working. cd home so root. So must be run from a terminal. I wonder, I'm running this from the space. Okay, let's go to okay, so let's connect via SSH and see if the password works via SSH. So on here we're gonna type SSH root at the IP is this one. Type yes, yes, and let's type the password. Alright, so this section has worked, and the password here is the password for the root user. So ID I cannot anything. Why? See here I am root, but I cannot type anything. Oh my god. Oh yes. Oh, the terminal completely not responding. Okay, collapse that. Open a new one. sh root at oh, come on. And oh no. I don't want to expect this, but ping. This machine is very frustrating. It disconnects every 1 second. Oh, as expected. Reopen the VPN. Yeah, thank you. And here we're gonna type SSH root and the password. Let's hurry up before the connection goes. ID root. All right, that is for this machine, as you can see. And the lessons learned from this machine, as we can see, no confidential information such as passwords or private user IDs are to be typed in the command line as in clear text. If you do that, anyone who would be able to gain limited access in SSH or limited shell to your machine, they're going to be able to read the bash history, and from the bash history, they will be able to steal the password, grab it, and smash your machine. That's the first lesson learned. The second lesson learned is you update your whatever applications you are running on your servers. Update that, make sure everything in the last version, not to allow any exploit to be run against your machine. And the last one is working with exploits. Familiarize yourself with Python, with Bash scripting, Java script, of course. So if you encounter an exploit written in one of these languages, you're going to be able to interpret the content of the exploit and modify it to suit your purposes. All right, that's it, and see you in the next video.